This is just AMZN on Thursday, April 15th, 2021. Today we had a pretty sideways day. It worked out to be indecisive and bullish. So right out the gate, we ran up here, turned in a evening star reversal. We're making lower highs, making relative lows, and it's like, okay, this is either going to go up or down. And sure enough, it went down. It broke through the 21, broke through this line, and then chopped sideways here for 20 minutes and then continued to break down. And then something happened. It just stopped right here and just bounced. This looked like a really nice double bottom here, but that's after the fact. It never retested down here. The only retest we got was after another couple hours of it just going sideways, and you get a tiny little dip below this red line. But I mean, this line has been our um, the top of like a resistance zone. So it's like we were trying to just bounce off of that, broke through it just through here, and then just kept retesting it all through here. And then we had a really, really nice run into the end of the day here. So that would have coincided with buying about 6. Really, you could have seen this low here. It's like, oh, it's kind of holding this level. I wonder if I can just buy at 6 or buy at 650, stop at 550, and get out at 10, 1050 for a nice 4-hour gain. That worked. There were places to play this bearish here, here, here. Any of these lower highs as it started to roll over, even this one here as it started to roll over and then get out down here, just getting out at 4 hours. That's what I did on this one. Let me close this and zoom in a little bit more. So I was in at 450 and a stop at 350 and got out at 850. And when I saw it spike up here to 925, it's like, oh, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. I was already out at 850. And then it just completely reversed. And it's like, oh, well, I'm really glad I'm out for 4 hours. So that was a nice gain. And then watching this to see what's going to happen. Is this going to roll over? Didn't seem to be rolling over. It just came right back down to that $4 price, the base that I put in earlier on 450 and here. And it continued holding that level. It's like, okay, we are a little ways away with the 33.25. Let me go look at the 33.50. And so this one had a better move because, hang on, let me get it set up. So usually zoom in like this, just that. And then I can just look on this portion. Okay. So put in a really nice low in here on buying at 8 and a stop at 7. When this came in over here, I thought for sure I had missed getting in at 8. So I looked at the 33.25 put instead. This candle came right back up and could have filled me at 8. Actually, no, it was this one. It's like, oh, I missed the $8 price. It was already going. So it's like, let me get in. I know this is going lower. Let me get into the 33.25 put at 450. I was able to get filled on that over here somewhere. And then I had to hold through this kind of retracement, a bounce, this kind of retracement. I was holding through that one. But anyway, I could have gotten in at 8, out at 12, could have gotten in at 8, out at 12, and then it didn't come back down to 8 right here. So I would have missed getting in at 8, would have seen it up at 10, and it's like, okay, this is just chopping right around 10. I wonder if I can get in at 10 and get out at 14, which that would have filled here. So I wouldn't have held further for one of these bigger moves. My gut said this is going to roll over, and it did, only so much. The biggest move you really could have had today was getting in at 8 and getting out at 18 for a 10-hour. And I've got a plan that I can move that stop up to lock in, or to at least get it below the 4-hour level. So that would have been getting in at 8 and getting my stop up to 12, which wouldn't have happened till way over here. So I don't think there's any way I would have gotten in at 8 and gotten out even at 16. Just knowing what my rules are and how I was playing this morning. But the 33.50 put was the way to go. And then it did the same thing as the 33.25, where it came back down to this area, put in a similar low, like relative lows, and then all through this, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, just went sideways, ultimately rolling over. on the put, which meant a bounce on the call. So that's the 3,400 call. We were just barely in, almost to that price here, and then the 3,350, we were just below that price here. So really range bound by those prices. Inside day today, kind of a high wave candle. Doesn't have, like an S shape, but it has some indecision. I was also thinking, I talked about having a triangle in the morning that breaks down and forms another triangle below where it had broken down. Well, this one didn't really do this. It came back above the line. That's not much of a shape I really recognize. I was trying to see, can you connect some of these highs with that, would that show something that maybe it's going to roll over? Like, can I connect? So with this, it's not exact. You can get close with like this open to this high, kind of this high to this high. So that's close. But I mean, what does that actually do there? It shows where we broke through. So we get to this candle here, and that's right here. You still could have been buying this to get in at 8 and just get out at 10, just to do a little scalp as it's breaking out. So once it crosses that, it's like, okay, what's the lowest you could buy that price? I would say still 8. Get it at 8, stop at 7, which wouldn't have been below that low. So you can see it's breaking out, but again, I'm kind of just connecting some lines that make sense to connect later in the day. If you had done that earlier, you would have been connecting maybe something like this, like an open and open, and then it's breaking out. Well, no, it didn't. It just went sideways for a while. So I'm not really sure how that helps. It doesn't really connect too well. I do like the bigger picture. This is an inside day. This is some resting at this level, which I think I talked about over here, that we needed some more of a rest. So this is a rest after we have really an evening star reversal up here. So if we gap down, we could really just continue to run back down. If we gap up, I mean, I don't know if this is enough rest to get moving up. We may need another day, like a Friday that rests and then move on Monday. That would also be a different, something different happening on the weekly. But this is, I mean, we're still at a really good level to roll over. But if this has enough bullish momentum to keep going, I mean, we could be contending with all-time highs soon. Either of those are possible. So, but on the day, on the 5 minute here, I had some pretty clean setups with a triangle and a breakdown, and some clean levels that were coming in that would help you make a good directional trade. So I hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.